Stance is the most fundamental position in wrestling. Having a good stance is a foundation to your success. As you move into your wrestling stance, you should be bent at the knees and hinged at the waist. Your eyes should be looking forward. You should be in a shoulder, knee, toe alignment. Your feet should be hip distance apart with one foot in front of the other, and your hands should be in front of you and bent at the elbows. Having a perfect stance is important for both offense and defense. To be a great wrestler, you need to have a great stance. Movement in your wrestling stance is very important. It helps keep your opponent off balance. It also helps to generate offense and keep you in good position to defend successfully. As you begin moving in your stance, you want to maintain a shoulder, knee, toe alignment. You should be able to move up and down, as well as forward, backward, and in a circular motion. Being able to move freely and comfortably in your stance is a key to wrestling success. Wrestling is a contact sport. When you begin to make contact with your opponent, you want to make sure you're in good position. Wrist control contact is a great way to do that. When you make wrist control contact, you want to attack your opponent's lead leg wrist with two hands, then climb their elbow and move your forehead to their collar. You will use wrist contact to take control of your opponent and to move them out of position. The penetration step is used in many offensive attacks in wrestling. It helps you cover the distance between you and your opponent. You will execute your penetration step from being in your stance. Your front foot will step forward, your knee will drop over your toe, your trail leg will swing up, back to your stance position. Having a great penetration step can help you to score many points against your opponent.
When you're in contact with your opponent, you want to be in dominant position by controlling the tie-up. Inside tie means that you have control on the inside of your opponent's arm. Outside tie means that you have control of the outside of your opponent's arm. Collar tie means that you have one hand on the back of your opponent's neck to control their head. Tie-ups help to control your opponent's motion and are also very useful to set up your own attack. This is a basic leg attack takedown in which you attack both of your opponent's legs at once. To do it properly, you will need to be in a good stance and use your penetration step. When taking the shot, start with a deep penetration step. Pretend there is a string between your opponent's feet and you want to try to step on that string. To perform proper execution, head up, ear tight, straight back, and chest tight to opponent's hips. Your arms will wrap around opponent's knees. Trail leg steps up and you drive your opponent down to the mat. Double leg takedown is an explosive technique used to take your opponent from their feet to the mat.
In bottom position, it is critical to build a solid base to defend against turns and to find a way to escape. There are 3 steps to building a base on bottom. First, lift one hip to create space. Next, slide a knee under your body. Finally, drive back into your opponent to position yourself back to a good base. Building a solid base in bottom position is the foundation for all bottom techniques and should be practiced regularly. The stand-up is a fundamental technique from bottom position and should be mastered as early as possible. There are 4 steps to an effective stand-up. First, take an explosive step, ensuring your ankle is positioned past your knee. Next, as your opponent pressures into you, match their pressure and step up to both feet. Next, control a wrist and extend it away from your body while creating hip separation. Finally, look to the ceiling as you turn away from the controlled wrist and use your elbow to create full separation. It is vital to have an effective stand-up to escape from bottom position. Without the ability to escape consistently, winning matches will be very difficult.
This is a basic takedown where you are attacking only one of your opponent's legs, and your head will be on the inside of their leg. Start in good stance. Use your deep penetration step to get your body to your opponent's leg. Head up, back straight, hips in, and your lock should be behind your opponent's knee. Your body should be in a straight line, from your shoulder through your hip down to your knee, and there should be no space between your body and your opponent's. Then use your trail leg to drive yourself back up to your feet. Single leg takedown is a highly effective technique and works best when executed quickly.
A fake shot with a snap is a great way to get your opponent down to the mat, and that gives you a big advantage. From collar tie contact position, your collar tie hand will fake a shot towards your opponent's leg. Your opponent should react by pulling their leg back. Your fake shot hand will go back to the collar, and you will pull your opponent's head to the mat. As you pull them to the mat, make sure to move your feet back. Being able to put your opponent down to the mat while you're still on your feet gives you a great opportunity to score. The leapfrog drill is a great way to practice your shooting and pivoting skills. In order to do this drill, you will need a partner. In order to do the leapfrog drill, partner 1 should stand tall and spread their feet shoulder distance apart. Partner 2 will take a shot through their opponent's legs. Partner 2 will then pivot and jump over their opponent's back. This movement can be repeated as many times as necessary to improve on your shooting and pivoting skills. The leapfrog drill can be a fun and exhausting way to practice your shooting skills.
A pin is the ultimate way to win a wrestling match. A pin occurs when you're able to hold your opponent's shoulder blades to the mat for 2 seconds. There are 2 steps to pinning your opponent. First, find a way to turn your opponent to his back and settle to a stable pinning hold. This is where near fall points can be earned. Finally, put your opponent's shoulder blades to the mat to win the match. Pinning your opponent is the best way to win a match in wrestling. It guarantees victory regardless of score. The switch is a basic reversal technique from bottom. It is a great option when you need a reversal instead of an escape. There are 3 primary steps to the switch. First, replace your free arm with the arm your opponent is holding. Next, turn to your opposite hip and grab your opponent's nearest leg with your free arm. Finally, continue to rotate and drive into your opponent until you are in top position. The switch is a great bottom technique and is one of the quickest ways to go from bottom position to top position.